Rock and roll, let's go.
Rock and roll, let's go.
This is one of a few, if not many, videos that I would like to make about bringing to people's awareness the fact that artists ought to be charities. I think people are starting to understand this. Not my family. Bottom line up front, as one of my YouTuber friends, we're not friends, but someone I like says, I guess in the military they say that. Whole point of this video is next time you're going to donate to a charity, you may consider, I'm not telling you what to do, but it's something to think about. Try giving money to any artist that you might know. A friend, someone in your family, anyone that you know needs it. And usually, if you think about it, it's not hard. I think a lot of people who give to charities might give to some abstract organization for animals. I mean, of course, this is all great. Don't get me wrong. However, I'm just trying to bring to awareness how much creative people and artists need help and how we are charities. So whenever I do miraculously obtain any money, usually by a donation from someone else, I give 10% to charities of my choice, which are artists, creative people that I know. One of the patterns I want to share, for instance, what it's like being an artist in America is, one of the patterns is people, like the family, they think they're helping you by telling you to become a better business person. They don't understand that the soul of artists, often true artists, just doesn't work that way. We often don't even know if what we're doing is good enough to deserve money. We often have mental illnesses. It's hard for us to be consistent. For one example is Patreon. What people don't understand, yes, it's great, and it works. It's great, and a lot of people can really work that system, but what people don't understand is that whole setup is basically a setup for artists, to creative people, to have to become business people. And that's precisely why we need donations, is because we're not good at selling ourselves usually, or it's difficult for us, and our brains do not function that way. So the people that are successful on Patreon and successful artists, often they might not even be the greatest creators or greatest artists, but they're good at being consistent and doing business. So for instance, I have two people that give me money on Patreon. I earn $20 a month, and they don't expect anything from me, actually, because they are artists themselves, so they're old friends. But I don't post on there. I've tried to. I post a little bit, but I don't have like the tiers of, give this much and you get that. It's because that's like running a store, and I'm not a merchant. I'm not a store owner. So don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm trying to do all the business, and I do see the value, and I really admire artists who, I admire people who do all this, and I try to do it. I try my best. It doesn't, I mean, I am getting better at being consistent and putting things out, but I'm just trying to articulate even for other artists who, I just haven't heard this said. And I think there are a lot of artists out there who often have mental problems, feel invisible, are just basically what it feels like to be an artist in America is, if you get support from your family at all, it's like, oh, you're amazing, you're gonna be famous, now go out there and be famous, and then you're on your own. This is my experience anyway. And that gives us the message that we have to be famous, which is kind of true. I think, because I see a lot of successful artists are just working really hard to barely make it, so they're doing like a minimum wage job, maybe less than minimum wage, to barely make it. A lot of work, especially musicians work really hard in America and get paid very little, and I think they do some of the hardest work. Oh yeah, I'm a musician too. I don't make a living. I I live on donations. I have what I need to survive by the grace of certain people in my life. Doesn't feel great. I'm trying, but just these little examples. It's almost time. These are 10-minute videos. It's just weird. So like little examples. One that sticks out in my mind is my uncle, who I think is great. I love him. But I just remember I was posting art, on the internet, and then he wrote and said, you should look into NFTs. It'll change your life. And it just feels like the support of family is like, hey, become a better business person. Instead of, here's a donation, here's a small donation, or that would be nice. that would be really useful, because also NFTs are pretty much bullshit. It's basically people who socialize in circles of people who collect NFTs, and it's just another business model. They're just business people, they're not artists. They might create some things. That doesn't mean they're really artists, most of them. I mean, the whole art misconception is... It's already been 10 minutes, so I gotta stop this. I have to limit these. Another episode will be the feeling of trying to fit in with... Here, I can show my art around the screen for ya. Yeah. It's really weird being me. Certain angles, I look slightly less monstrous. Just kidding. I am very thankful to be who I am and to look like who I am. I'm constantly trying. I was just gonna say, another episode of this conversation is what it's like trying to get into the galleries and just going and seeing abstract bullshit that anyone could just smear on a canvas. And I mean, some of it, there's... It's fun. So donate to an artist, donate to me. I could use it. I could definitely use it. Donate to a family member or a friend that you know that is an artist. I think I'll be making a series of these because I don't know if people really get this. Thank you, and I hope you have a beautiful day.